After overdramatically illustrating the concept of multiplication with pages filled with jumbled numbers, lines, and circles, I looked into her eyes and optimistically asked, for the 10th time, Berapa satu kali satu? I can't put in words my joy when, with a wide grin on her face, she responded, Satu! When I first arrived in Banda Aceh, Indonesia, only a month before, I couldn't understand a thing that was being said around me. During the first few days there, I felt like I was in a fishbowl. I could see what was going on around me, but I couldn't communicate with anyone. Since I was going to be spending the next 10 weeks there, I decided to open my arms and embrace the experience. I was immediately pulled into the culture, literally. Students took me to their villages and homes, made me try their favorite foods, and even taught me their favorite games to play. At first, I was only teaching English, but as I learnt more Indonesian, I also began teaching math and Arabic. One of my most memorable lessons was in a village on the outskirts of the city called Blangkrung, where we held outreach classes for the children there. With children reciting their multiplication loudly around me, I sat down with a very young girl who was awkwardly holding her pencil and staring at her small notebook with uncertainty. She looked at me with a puzzled look as I asked, Berapa satu kali satu? How much is 1 times 1? After a few other questions that were replied to by the same puzzled look, I understood that she did not know what kali-kali, or multiplication, even was. After doing my best to illustrate the concept for 30 minutes, she began to understand. We practiced the 1 and 2 times tables, and then it was time for me to leave. But the look on her face when it all came together was absolutely priceless. On the motorbike ride back to the center that evening, I reflected on my Go experience for the first time. I did it! Or rather, she did it. I somehow found a way to explain the concept of multiplication to a 5-year-old girl who has never even been to school before. The coolest part yet is that I actually did it completely in Indonesian. Despite being thrown into a foreign language and culture on the opposite side of the world, I was actually making a difference. From fishbowl to Indonesian ocean, my Go Fellowship experience is one that I'll never forget.